Good evening, folks. I'm Brian McPhee here along with Paul Zarate, and we've got another game here at the Jungle, Paul.
Yeah, have you caught your breath since last week?
No, I'll tell you, the Cardiac Kids were live at it last week, weren't they, with that 18-17 win. Hopefully they get some things ironed out this week to be a little more consistent. So they certainly showed they could play and have a pretty potent offense.
Yeah, like you said, the Cardiac Kids, same thing as last year. You know, it seems like they kind of wait a while and then just do enough to pull the game out. Hopefully tonight against Kettering we'll get off to a quick start and just dominate from the beginning.
Yes, and last week, again, the defense, although they were behind, they shined. The opposing coach there said that the front line were like animals. So they had to switch up their game plan to a completely different offense mid-game.
Yeah, and I would say that's what won the game for us, right, was they have a very strong running game over at Lakeland, and we forced them into some passing situations. And, of course, our defensive backs had a great night. I think we had 3 interceptions last week. So yeah, really stepped up.
Yeah, so we'll see how tonight goes with the Waterford Kettering captains. They come in at 1-2, I believe. And so we'll see if those are just tough games they had or if they're really foe to worry about.
Yeah, it's always hard to tell. You always want to take a look at, well, who did they play, how much did they lose by, and try and figure things out. And they did have enough tough game against North Farmington. I think they lost 28-21, but North Farmington's a really good team.
They are. I think there are a lot of the old Harrison people over there that switched once they closed Harrison High School. Yep. So, well, we'll be back with our kickoff here tonight, and looking for an exciting night of football. Good evening, folks. We're ready for our kickoff here tonight. Matt Chinavera kicking off, and he puts it down deep to the goal line. And Kettering takes it up to get about to the 20, just across the 20, almost the 24, and he's brought down by a Pride Lions. Again, I'm Brian McPhee alongside Paul Zarate. And our Lions here tonight. And we're starting out on defense, which did a great job last week. We got the best in the industry, Matt Boyer, back on camera with us tonight. And Dan Pelchat will be handling the stadium announcement duties, so you may hear him in the background here tonight. Kettering in the gun. Handoff. It's number 1 carrying the ball, Larry Platt. And quarterback is Eli Hilliard, a senior, 6'2", 190, decent-sized kid there.
Number 70, Gus Taylor, wrapping him up and bringing him down on that one.
Okay. Hilliard looks over to the sideline, checks off the first call, and a throw out into the flat, and he's met there by, again, a couple of Lions that have a little trouble bringing him down. He gets about 4 yards on that play. That again was Larry Platt, who went in motion and caught Hilliard's pass.
Yeah, tough job bringing him down over there, Brian. It took, I think, 5 Lions to do so. Got Kettering kind of running this hurry-up offense, at least where they get right to the line, then look over to the sidelines for their call.
And rumor has it that he have a little bit of speed on this Kettering team. Hilliard goes under the gun, or under center. We've got Platt in the backfield. Hands off to Platt, and he doesn't go anywhere but back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see if they get a friendly mark and get the first down. It was 3rd and 1, and they give him the first down there, Paul.
Yeah, good job by Walrath getting in there and wrapping him up early, but he was able to fall forward for the first down.
They're back in the gun. Platt in motion, gets a screen pass out in the flat. And he gets a few yards on that play.
Going to have to pursue all night tonight, Brian. I don't think the first guy is going to bring him down. Jack Schaefer had to come in and clean him up on that.
We're missing Jesse Powell, who was a terror on that outside rush last week. Yeah, Mitch Kamaris, one of the linebackers. And now Hilliard throws out to number 12, where he's tackled right away.
That was Evan DeFrank getting in there, Brian. Good thing for that running back to hold on to that ball, because I think he threw that backwards. That was a lateral. That'd have been a fumble had he dropped that.
Yeah, that ball was a little loosey-goosey out there, and DeFrank did a great job of pursuing upfield. Just underway here. The captain's at their own 27-yard line. Hilliard out to pass. He hits number 12. That's Brendan Teal, who made the reception. And Evan DeFrank was there to make the tackle.
Yeah, that was a really nice pass on the run, Brian. He put it on the money because DeFrank was right there.
And rolling left and throwing right, that's a tricky combination.
Yep.
So it's 4th and 5, and it's going to bring up a punting situation for Waterford. We have Brendan Dancer back to receive. Oh, and he rushes on. Mitch Camaros almost blocked that. I think if he went for the tackle instead of the block, he would have been able to sack the punter.
Yeah, that was Jack Schramm doing the punting for Kettering. He did a good job of pulling it down. Schaefer went running by him, and then he got that punt off, and a good punt it was. So Lions going to start fairly deep in their own territory at about the 22.
Yep, so that brings the offense out, and we'll see how they do what they learned this week from last week's game against Lakeland. We got Connor Fracassi lined up at quarterback in the gun. And I believe that was number 5. That's Jordan Singleton. One of the running back by committee here, what we saw last week between Jordan, Jack Schaefer, and a couple other people back there. DeFrank ran the ball. Mitch Kamaris a little bit. You got Mitch Kamaris on the wing. Singleton behind Fracassi, and Fracassi in the gun. Again to Singleton. He gets across the line of scrimmage. Gains just a couple of yards on that. It's going to make it about 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. We got Quinn Fracassi split up top. Brendan Locke down low to the right. Fracassi rolls out and hits Quinn Fracassi, his younger brother. Sophomore has been getting a lot of play action this year.
Yep. Really nice execution there. Faked that run to the right, got the defense moving that way, and then came back to the left, hit his little brother Quinn.
But he did a good job of running that route deep enough to get the first down.
Yep.
So the Lions on the move early. We got 6:30 left here in the first quarter in the jungle. And that's Locke in motion. Fracassi's pass comes up short. Not sure if he had to hurry that as quickly as he did, but there was a little bit of a rush coming in.
Yep, I'm sure he wants that one back.
Yeah. You got Fracassi and McGrath split out to the left. Brendan Locke down low. And the pass to Locke. You know, I'm just going to say it looked like we had a mismatch there, at least in size.
Yep. Hey, Connor with a great pass there. He put it right on Brendan's hands. Brendan did a great job of hauling it in. He had the defender all over him.
Yep. Good to see him starting to stretch the field early a little bit.
Yeah, I joked with Coach Stalter a little bit after the game the other night. I told him, I said, you need to call all those good plays more towards the beginning of the game instead of the end. Not sure he appreciated that, but I call him like I see him.
Yeah. All right, Fracassi again in the gun. Singleton in the backfield with him. Fracassi rolling out. He pulls it down, and he's going to go. He gets across for about 7-yard gain there. Good block out in front by Singleton.
Yeah, and kudos to number 57, Isaac McComb, on that one, hanging with his block to spring Connor for some decent yardage.
And he really didn't hesitate on that one because he rolled out away from the pressure,
Yep.
saw the lane in front of him, and took advantage of it.
Yep. And sometimes, Brian, that's just important. Like you said, that last play, stretch the field a little bit. But also, you got to let those linebackers know, hey, I'm ready to run, and then that really starts to spread them out.
That's a good point, Paul. So another first down for the Lions here with 5:40 to go in the first quarter. Lions on the captain's 35-yard line. Hand off to Singleton. He goes off tackle, and he's met almost immediately there, gaining just a yard or two. Looked like Thomas Smith, number 65, first one to meet him. So, 2nd and 9 for the Lions. Hand off to Singleton. Follows his blockers up. He looks like forward progress, hopefully, will be about 3 yards there. So it's going to be 3rd and 7. 3rd and 6 for the Lions.
Got Jack Schaefer checking into the game at running back.
Jack had a good game carrying the ball last week. It's one of the challenges the coaches have with the two-way players is trying to keep them fresh. Fracassi drops back. He rolls out after seeing the pressure there. He's got Keegan McGrath. Oh, he had Keegan wide open down at the 10 and just overthrew him. Keegan went up for that one.
Yeah, just a little bit. Good job by Connor to give himself some room to throw that ball, but just a little too hot.
Yep. Had he hit him in without having to jump like that, Keegan has some running room. Well, that's 4th and 7 from the Kettering 35-yard line, and the Lions are going to go for it here. A little too far for a field goal and too close to punt. Fracassi rolls out to his left. Pulls it in. He thought he had a lane there.
Yep.
And a good open field tackle there by number 1, Larry Platt.
Might have been best there, Brian. There was good coverage downfield. Connor decided to tuck it and run. Great job by Jack Schaefer there, the running back that stayed in, made a block, at least allowed Connor to get outside and have a chance to make a first down.
So turn their first possession. And it's Eli Hilliard in the backfield at quarterback. Larry Platt, we've called his number. He gets the ball, and the Lions just meet him and fill that hole real quick. And that's for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Hilliard over the middle. Oh, and he hit number 5, DJ Hamler, right in the back. He was open, and he'd been looking, he'd still be running. So 2nd and 10 now. Hilliard in the gun. He drops back to pass. He's got the rush on, and he throws it out to, that's Pratt, who jumps over a player, and he kind of zigged and zagged his way and gets a big gain there. 25-yard gain there by Pratt.
Yeah, touchdown saving tackle there by Brendan Dancer along with Jack Schaefer. Flag on the play.
It's like sideline warning against Kettering. Mitch Morris had a big rush on there. So Hilliard brings him out, and they go no huddle. Hand off to Pratt, where he's just brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Looks like Brendan Dance. No, that was Schaefer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jack Schaefer come up, made the initial hit, and then Big Gus Taylor came in, finished it off.
Gus gave up the 44. Doesn't look like he's going to be running the ball, but so 2nd and 10 for the Captains. They just crossed over into Lion territory. And the handoff to Pratt again. He's hit immediately. He maybe gets a yard.
You know, you mentioned earlier, Brian, trying to keep these two-way players well rested. You got Jack Schaefer. He was in on the last 3 tackles, so he is all over the place on defense tonight.
He plays at such a high level. Hilliard drops back to pass, and the rush is on by Camoris. And Hilliard's pass downfield comes up short. I'll tell you, I think that guy was buttoning Camoris' shirt for him. He had his hands all over him. So that's 4th and 10, and the Captains will bring out the punting team.
Brendan Locke dropping deep for this one.
And that was almost blocked. And Locke takes it in. He's out to the 20, out to the 25, to the 30. A nice 15-yard return there by Brendan Locke.
Yeah, it was a great catch. Little showing some guts there instead of fair catching that. Trying to catch it a little bit on the run, get some yards. Flag on the play. We'll have to see what the call is.
Well, Paul, there was some holding on that moved the ball back to the 12 after a nice return by Brendan Locke. Percassi hands off to Mitch Camoris. Evan DeFrank. And he does a great job running that ball and getting all the way out to the 30. So nice 18-yard gain there by Evan DeFrank.
Yeah, that was explosive, Brian. Right out of the backfield, he hit that gap, got through it, and then ran hard for a couple extra yards.
We've got an official timeout right now. Looks like number 5 for Waterford's hobbling around out there. Hopefully he'll be okay. We'll be right back after this. That was DJ Hamler, number 5 for Waterford Kettering, who was able to go off under his own power with a little bit of a limp. So here we go, 1st and 10. And again, it's Evan DeFrank who gets the call. He goes off tackle for a couple of yards. And that'll be 2nd and 7 for the Lions.
Little shout out to the boys in the trenches tonight, Brian. At center, we got Adam Walrath. Right guard, Jacob Klingler. Right tackle, Ashton D'Angelo. Left guard, Isaac McComb. And left tackle, Caleb Baker. Those are the guys that sometimes don't get to do. They're working all night long. Every play they're getting hit. And they're doing a great job tonight.
Yep, running backs always got to thank those linemen up there. And they got 2 of them pulling out in front. And Fracassi goes the other way, a little misdirection out there. And he's able to pick up a yard or 2.
Yeah, that was definitely a little read play there. You saw Jacob Klingler, the right guard, pulling, picked up his man, but Fracassi thought that he could tuck that and maybe get a few more yards.
Well, here we go with 3rd and 4 with 17 seconds left here in the first quarter. Yeah, Jack Schaefer now in the backfield with Fracassi. He takes the snap. The handoff is to Schaefer. He plows his way across the line of scrimmage and is taken down by a host of captains. And that'll be the end of the first quarter with no score here at the Jungle. All right, well, at the start of the second quarter, the Lions got the ball. It's 4th and 3rd, and it looks like Locke is back to punt. And he's going to pull it down and run, and he gets the first down. Yep. Brendan did a great job of sticking that ball in front of him to get it across the out-of-bounds lines in front of that down marker.
Yeah. Pretty gutsy call there by the coaches over on South Lyon, but that paid off. Great run by Brendan. He just took it and took off.
Well, he usually does that kind of Australian, pooch kick or whatever by running over to the side, and whether it's his call or not, if he sees it open, but I'm thinking they probably wanted to keep the ball and keep going. So first down for the Lions at their own 41-yard line. So no score in the ball game yet. Hand off to Schaefer, and he's met by a whole ship full of captains.
Ship full. There you go. Okay, I got it.
All right, we'll stop with those.
No, it's actually a good one. I like it.
Goes with our Pride Alliance.
There you go.
Well, and I think if they watch last week's film and you see Jack in the backfield, Jack's probably getting the ball.
Yeah.
And Fracassi drops back and he throws out to the side. And that's to Quinn Fracassi, who got a yard or 2 and then got knocked back on that one. So forward progress, they'll give him it looks like a yard. So 3rd and 8. Yeah, it's the same as the scoreboard that time. Still got to go see one of our sponsors out there that sells eyeglasses and get updated prescription. Great night here tonight, Paul, as summer wanes away from us.
Yep. Cooling off a little bit right now. Feels good.
So Fracassi takes the snap. He drops back, looking downfield. And he throws out to Keegan McGrath again. And again, he just overthrows him. Keegan was open on that, ran a good route. Would have been a first down. But again, he had to get up in the air to try and pull that one in.
Yeah.
So
good job by the line, giving Connor time to throw there. So far, both defenses pretty tough tonight.
So I like how Connor's spreading the ball around to different receivers. He just needs to settle down a little bit there, and Brenda's punt sails down to the 22-yard line. Evan DeFrank downs it there. All right. Eli Hilliard in the backfield. And he throws out to the flat and just drilled that one. And DJ Hamler could not hang on to it.
Yeah, so DJ back into the game. Looked like he had injured his knee, but apparently he's okay.
Yeah, good to see him come back. I hate to see kids getting hurt in high school ball. So Hilliard and Platt in the backfield. And it looks like one of the Lions jumped. So 5 yards forward. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the captains. Puts them at the 27-yard line, their own 27-yard line. It's Hilliard, the quarterback. He hands off to Hamler, who's stopped there momentarily by Schaefer. He gets away and gets back to about the line of scrimmage. Man, Schaefer just shot through there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Made that early hit. Couldn't hang on, but slowed him down enough all the other Lions could catch up.
I was starting to talk earlier. The Lions miss Isaac Noe out at the other corner.
Yeah.
You know, they got Jake Newman at the one corner, and Isaac did a great job last year, but he's been out with a shoulder injury, so they've been filling that position in by committee out there. And teams have had a tendency to run that way. We got a little equipment issue for the captains.
Yeah. I think Mr. Hamler forgot his play wristband. He had to run over to his teammate.
And they get the play off in time. Hamler's throw is downfield and intercepted. The Lions get the ball back right at their own 48-yard line.
As Nathan McMaster, Brian, a great interception there. And I was going to say, had he even not intercepted that ball, he did a great job of staying home, because there was a lot of razzle-dazzle on that play. They were trying to hit the wide receiver out there deep, but McMaster didn't bite at all.
Yeah, he did a great job of staying in coverage and in position to pick that ball off. And just as we were talking about Isaac, McMaster is one of those who's been filling in there.
Yep.
And sometimes it's trial by fire, and the more you play, the better you learn the position. So great job there. Let's see if this doesn't give us a little momentum. So 9:11 left in the second quarter. Still no score here in the jungle. Fracassi takes the snap, hands off to Singleton, and he's dragged down just short of the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose about a yard on that play. So 3 different running backs there for us tonight, all with a little different style.
Yeah, I noticed Connor lengthened up the count there a little bit, maybe trying to throw the captains off balance, but nothing doing.
Second and 10. Fracassi back to pass. He's got good protection. Throws out to Keegan McGrath that time, and Keegan pulls that one in with no need to jump.
Yeah, there you go. Keegan's got to be running good routes tonight, because he's been open almost every time. So
he sure has. And that's something that you just got to keep doing. And, you know, Fracassi's a good ball player. He's going to get that dialed in. That was a nice pass and nice catch. So we got 3rd and 3 now. Much better selection of plays at this distance.
Yep, for sure. Got DeFrank in the backfield next to Connor. Oh, timeout.
You know, we'll be back after this. All right, here we go, 3rd and 3. And the handoff is to Mitch Kamaris. This time he gets the round end, and he's just running people over.
Yeah.
I think Mitch was looking for contact.
Yeah, that was a great broken tackle there. I love the hard running. Mitch has proven he wants the ball.
Oh yeah. You know, I forget what game it was last year, but I think he actually won it for us by just continually running 8-10 yards a crack. He's another one of those two-way players that you don't want to exhaust them, you know, and then have them not available for you. So here we go, 1st and 10 from the Waterford 32 for the Lions. And it's DeFrank up the middle. Captain thought the ball squirted loose, but the whistle had blown already. Still Lions ball. And we talked about the different styles, and DeFrank hits that hole so quickly.
Yeah, he does. That's a good point, Brian. And the hole was there. Good job by the line again. Open that up. He's running over the right side there with Jacob Klingler and Ashton D'Angelo on that side.
So here we go. It's 2nd and 5 now for the Lions. We had a man in motion. He might have cut up towards the line of scrimmage. Fracassi rolling out. He scrambles out, gets out of trouble. He's looking downfield. Avoids another tackle, but all that for naught, and I think it's going to come back for a procedure penalty. The man in motion cut up for the line of scrimmage before the ball was hiked.
Okay. I was going to say, that was all Connor there.
Oh, yeah.
It might only been 2 yards, but it was 2 yards of Connor.
That's what he did his entire sophomore season, so. Yep, it's a procedure penalty against the Lions. We got 3rd and 8 for the Lions right now. Fracassi has Schaefer in the backfield. He's got Locke in the slot on the right-hand side. Locke goes in motion. Fracassi looking back. He's got Locke wide open. And he went over the middle to Quentin Fracassi. Nearly got intercepted there. Quentin, I think, became the defender. But Locke was streaking down that sideline. So now we're looking at 4th and 8 from the 30-yard line of the Captains. And Locke comes out as DeFrank brought the play in. We got Fracassi and McGrath split out to the left.
Timeout.
Stoppage in play. Timeout Lions. We'll be back after this timeout. Well, here we go with the Lions 4th and 8. It's a big play for the Lions. They're looking downfield. And he's got Locke open and touchdown! Fracassi to Brendan Locke with the nice over-the-shoulder catch, and he beat everybody.
Well, you called it, Brian. Brendan with his speed on the outside, getting behind the defenders. Connor just threw that one up there nicely. Almost looked like it was too deep. But of course, Brendan turned on the jets, got underneath it. Beautiful play.
Yeah, he did a great job there. And if you look at some of the corners they have, they're 5'8", 5'9". Brendan's 6'3". Oh, and Fracassi's or DeFrank takes a direct snap, and he gets in for 2 points. Great play there. So DeFrank showing his speed.
Coach is catching us all by surprise, including the captains on that one.
Right, exactly. So we'll be back with the Lions kickoff. Here's a kickoff from Shinavara, and he kicks it down to about the 10-yard line. And the captains return that out to the 25. It looks like we got a loose ball, and the Lions are calling it as theirs. No signal from the refs yet. Jake Newman came up with the ball, and they're giving it to the Lions. Great play there. Jake Newman, Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, I couldn't really see what happened underneath the pile there, but obviously the ball cleanly popped out. Jake jumped on it. He did a great job last week stripping one of the Lakeland players with the ball, got his hand in there and just ripped it out.
Oh, yeah, and that was the key to the Lions' comeback.
Absolutely.
Because Lakeland was charging in the Lions' territory back then. So we're back on offense. Fracassi in the back with Schaefer to his left. And Fracassi looking downfield to throw. He's scrambling around. Oh, how he's loose. He's looking downfield. He's got a guy in the end zone. And that's Keegan McGrath. Oh, my gosh. Who else? The guy who's been open all night. He did catch one pass, but he had two overthrown. And great job finding him.
Yeah, wide open, standing there right on the goal line. I heard a lot of the parents were yelling for Connor to get rid of the ball, get rid of the ball. He hung on, gave himself enough time. Again, kudos to the offensive line staying in there trying to hold on to their blocks and not giving up. And Connor ends up finding them for another 6.
So DeFrank rolling out. He looks for a pass. He throws the ball, and it's intercepted. So the 2-point conversion is no good. We'll be back with the Lions kickoff. And a kickoff by Shinavara again. He kicked it down deep, and that's going to be a touchback as he kicks it into the end zone. So Paul, after about
we're on.
all right, so for a quarter and a half of no scoring, all of a sudden we got back-to-back touchdowns.
Yeah, on turnovers. I love it. Coach Henson was really hot about something on that last extra point. During the stoppage of play, he was out talking with the refs, pretty animated. I'm not quite sure what he was claiming, but I think something was a little bit amiss on the Kettering side.
So the Lions back on defense. Hilliard at quarterback. Platt, number 1, the running back, to his right. And they snap the ball. He drops back to pass. He's got a man open, and he overthrows him. Good coverage there by Stephen Shelton. We haven't really called his number yet tonight, but he's been kind of a ball hawk this year.
Yeah, he had a great game against Lakeland, too. He came up with that final interception that sealed the game for the Lions there. Real fine game.
So 2nd and 10, 5:06 left here in the second half. Kettering spreading out their offense. And that's DJ Hamler on the slant pass, and he was almost gone.
Yeah, thanks for Shelton. Another touchdown-saving tackle there.
That's a tough pass to cover. You got to get help from the inside, and if you're on the outside alone, you kind of get exposed there a little bit. But Good thing they stopped. And first down for Kettering.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. That's tough to defend for for the cover guy, because especially with the Lions, right? Because we got pretty aggressive linebackers in terms of getting in there and helping with the rush and helping with the run.
Platt goes in motion into the slot. Hamler drops back to pass. He looks downfield. He's got a man wide open, is Hamler, and he overthrows him. You cannot let that guy get behind you.
Coach Boyle's letting the DBs know that in a big way.
Yeah, you got to take your read steps and really respect that kid. He's got some speed. He just showed it there. Coach Dancer down there talking up the kids. And Hamler, again, that slant pass. And he was open, but he just couldn't hang on to it. I'm going to make it 3rd and 10 for the Captains.
Well, that was 2 plays in a row, Brian, where the receiver was wide open. One he overthrew him, one to drop. So Lions got to tighten it up here.
Yep. So that experience on the field needs to be talking to the younger kids and making sure they're where they're at. Hamler, Platt goes in motion behind him. Goes out to the flat and the long pass downfield to number 19. Jake Newman's right there with him. Pass intended for Ben Caesar, and he was overthrown. Hamler has a pretty good arm, but sometimes a little too strong, huh?
Yeah. I mean, that would have taken a perfect pass, but there was a spot there where he could have fit that one in.
And a turnover on down, or no, they're going to be punting here as it's 4th and 10 for the Captains. Brendan Locke goes back to receive the punt. And left footer gets a foot into it right to Locke, and he takes off. He's over the 30 to 35, out to the 40, just short of the 40-yard line. And Lions ball with 4:05 here with a 14-point lead in the second quarter. We'll be right back. And so here we go. Fracassi hand off to Evan DeFrank or Singleton there running the ball. And that's his longest yard of the, and we call a fumble. Singleton coughed it up there right at the 45-yard line. And the momentum swings back to the Captains.
To take a direct snap here. Got the quarterback split wide.
A little wildcat action here for the Captains. And he takes off and runs around the left side and gains about 4 yards on that. He hit that hole quick.
Hey, got a flag on the play, Brian. Kettering coach is figuring, well, we can't seem to get the pass into his hands. Let's just get it to him right from the center.
Right. And, Lakeland started doing this last week. They started getting to, I don't know if this is part of their regular offense of using the wildcat and trick plays and that, but Lakeland had to get to that to start moving the ball. Because that defense, that up front line is doing a great job of filling the gaps and shutting down tackle to tackle. Hilliard's back at quarterback. Platt to his right. Platt goes out in motion. Hilliard looking downfield. He's got a man wide open. That was number 19, Eric Kraft. And just like that, Kettering's back in the ball game with 6 points. Hilliard showed he could throw the ball. It was a matter of time before he got connected up with his receivers.
Yeah, he put that one right on the money.
So the Lions are going to have to look at that coverage assignment and see where it broke down. And the extra point kick is up, and it's good, making the score 14-7 with 3:33 left here in the second quarter. Jack Schramm kicking off for the captains. And it's looks like Brendan Dancer was on the return there. And he got a nice return out of that one, taking it at about the 20 and getting it up to about the 37-yard line. So the Lions take over with 3:24 left in the second quarter, and the score 14-7. Quinn Fracassi and Keegan McGrath split out to the left. Brendan Locke up top. Schaefer in motion. Fracassi keeps it, pulls it down, and he squirts through there for about 6-7 yards. That looked like a designed keeper right from the get-go. They used Schaefer as a decoy on the other side.
Yeah, definitely. And I like the call, right? Get 5 yards out of the gate. Like you said, that opens up the playbook for you now. I'd like to see him come back and get the ball into Mitch's hands right here. Maybe on a little jet.
Mitch is such a dominant running back that, you have to put it in his hands a few times. So here's a handoff to Schaefer. He cuts up, does a little hop step, jump step in through the line. And he's got about 4 yards on that carry. So it'll be 3rd and 6 now. 3rd and 4, I'm sorry.
Don't trust that scoreboard, Brian.
I know,
Trust
I
your
gotta.
eyes.
Even though they're challenged. So 3rd and 4 for the Lions. Fracassi takes a handoff to Schaefer. Takes a little pass out to Mitch Camoris, and he gets the first down, and he's out to the 45 of Waterford.
Real nice play, nice throw. Really good catch by Jack to go down and make sure he secured that. It was a little bit low, but sure hands out there. I'm sorry, that was Mitch.
Mitch,
right?
yeah. So he caught it, then ran.
Yep.
Like you're supposed to.
Yep.
All right, so first down for the Lions. From Waterford's 45-yard line. Fracassi drops back, looking to pass. Rolls out to his left, signals to his Keegan McGrath to run down the field, and he's open. He takes it all the way down to the 15-yard line. Great running there by Keegan.
I think Keegan's wearing a turf jersey because they mustn't be able to see him. He's getting open all night long.
Oh, and you saw Connor signaled to him to go downfield.
Yeah.
And he threw it as he was breaking down, and it worked out just great. So another first down for the Lions. 1st and 10 from the 16. We've got 1:15 left in the quarter, and the Lions are driving. Fracassi looks back to pass, and he hits Brendan Locke cutting across the center, and he gets just a few yards on that one. So that'll be 2nd and 7 for the Lions. Clock is running, under a minute to play with 45 seconds. Fracassi takes the snap. He rolls out to his right. He's looking downfield. And we got a catch. You can't pick up the number there. Keegan again. And it looks like he was... Well, are they going to give him the first down there, or is he just short of it? Yeah, it is. Yep, it's 1st and goal from the 10. 24 seconds and the clock still moving. Fracassi looks over, and he's got Brendan Locke with the touchdown.
That's Steve Shelton.
Or Steve Shelton. Steve Shelton, I'm sorry.
He lined up in the spot, or in the slot. Brian just made a nice cut into the end zone, and Connor put it on the money. That's 2 good passes in a row by Connor. That last pass to Keegan was right there too. He threw it to a spot, led Keegan really well to come in and make that big catch for the first down.
Yep, great play by the Lions. So with 17 seconds, they go up. And we got offsides by Kettering. It's William Stojanovic in doing the kicking. Evan DeFrank's the holder. And that kick is up. And good. So with 14 seconds left here in the half, it's 21 Lions, 14 Captains. We'll be right back. And Chinavara are going to handle the kicking duties here. And just kind of pooch kick it down. And it's number 3 on the return for the Captains, and he's met there at the 22, 23-yard line and brought down with 12 seconds to go. Seems like there was more than 2 seconds run off the clock there. But,
yeah, I would have thought so. But that was a big answer by the Lions there.
Oh, huge. So now the Captains with 12 seconds to go, they may have 2 or 3 plays. And you know what they're going to do and who they're going to look to go to. So watch Hamler in the slot, number 19 out here on the post. And the quarterback keeps it, trying to run. And he's brought down there by number 4. That is Caleb Mulcahy. And they're going to let the clock run out. So here in the jungle, at the end of the half, it's the Lions 21 and the Captains 7. We'll be back with your second half kickoff right after this. Well, welcome back, folks. We're here at the start of the second half kickoff. The Lions will receive. And it's a pooch kick. And it looks like Waterford might have recovered it. They kicked it right in that in-between spot. And the Captains did recover that one, Paul. Cut the Lions off guard there a little bit.
Sure did.
I don't know if that was Hamler who raced down there to get it, but it was him
I couldn't see the number.
Or Platt, one of the two. Little speed merchants ran down there and got to it before the Lions could. And so the Captains will start on their own on Lions 36-yard line. 1st and 10, and they hand off to Platt, and he gets up the middle for about 4 or 5 yards.
Oh, a little wake-up call, Brian. We got a whole half of football to play yet.
And the Captains aren't wasting any seconds whatsoever to try to get back in this ball game. It's Hilliard in the back at quarterback. Well, Brendan Dancer got in there and slowed up the running back. And the rest of the Lions came in and pushed him back.
His helmet popped off, so he's going to have to sit out at least one play here.
So, 3rd and 5 for the Captains now. Hilliard drops back to pass. He's looking downfield. And just almost got sacked there. He threw it away. And it fell incomplete. It was Caleb Mulcahy who got in there and caused Hilliard to rush that pass. So 4th and 5. And they're going to go for it. Hilliard he rolls out to his right. He throws downfield, and that's caught just in bounds in front of Evan DeFrank, that was number 12 for the captains. Brendan Teal brought that pass in. He ran a good route there, and they threw it where only he could get it. And that's a first down for the captains. It'll be first and goal from the 8-yard line. So the captain's not wasting any time at all getting the ball pushed downfield. Hilliard doing a good job of getting the ball out there. He's in the gun. He's got Platt, number 1, behind him. They hand off to Platt, and he just runs into a team pitcher of the defense for the Lions there. Big Gus Taylor was right in the middle of that pileup. So that'll be 2nd and 7 now for the captains. Same formation, Hilliard in the back, in the gun. He drops back to pass. He looks over the middle. Oh, and it's nearly intercepted. Brendan Dancer there did a great job of breaking up that pass. For a second, he had, again, that number 12 open. Brendan Teal was wide open on the slant, and the Lions quickly closed and covered him up. Great play by Brendan Dancer. So 3rd and 7 now from the Lions 7. 3rd and goal from the Lions 7. Hilliard rolls out to his left, looks into the end zone, and that one is trapped at best, and it's incomplete. Looks like Platt was the intended receiver.
Big decision here for the captains. Looks like they might be bringing on the field goal unit.
Yep, they got Jack Schramm, the kicker, out there. It's going to be a... and the kick is up. And that's good. So Kettering, after recovering the opening kickoff here in the second half, marches down the field, and the Lions hold them up from getting a touchdown and hold them to a field goal, making the score 21-10, and we'll be right back with the captain's kickoff to the Lions. So here we go with Schramm's kick, another onside kick. And I don't think that went 10 yards.
No, it did not.
Well, we'll see. What they call there.
Yeah, they got it, Brian. That ball went just over 9 yards. Got to go 10 yards for the defense to be able to pick it up.
Okay, so the Lions get the ball in pretty good field position right at the captain's 49-yard line. That's a chance you take. If you don't get it, you're going to give the opposing team the ball right at pretty good field position. Handoff is to Schaefer, and he bowls his way up to for about 4 yards. Every bit of that was once he got past the line of scrimmage with Schaefer. And the lineman opened up the gap, and then he just made the rest. So 2nd and 6 for the Lions. Fracasse's back in the gun. I can't see who's to his right. That's Schaefer again.
Yeah.
Jack Schaefer. Quinn Fracasse goes in motion. And the handoff is to Jack Schaefer. He breaks it through the line. He's over to the 30, down to the 30, to 25. He zigzags, and he's going to go in for a touchdown. What a great run by Jack Schaefer. Great blocking up front. Caught some downfield blocks and took it in for the touchdown.
Great play execution there. Good fake to Quinn on the jet. And then you got Jacob Klingler pulling from his right guard position through a key block to spring Jack. And then, Jack just makes it happen.
Yeah, I thought maybe he took dancing lessons the way he got through that secondary. He did a great job. And now here's the extra point try. Evan DeFrank. And he tries to pass and is broken up there. Or did they complete that? You know, Paul, I'm having trouble looking out this window here, and it looks like they got it. The score on the scoreboard is 29 for the Lions and 10 for Waterford. And the kickoff by the Lions, and they kick it down to the 10. It's number 3 that returns it, and he's met by a host of Lions there right about the 15, and looks like they'll mark it down about the 16. I thought the Lions might have tried an onside kick just to say ha. Anyhow, pretty good coverage there by the Lions on that. They got about a 10-yard return. So the Captains now down by 19 points. Looks like they're going back to the Wildcat. Is that Hamler in the backfield? Got Hamler and Pitts in the backfield.
Yep, he's under center.
Oh, there he is, under center. And the pitch, and Schaefer with a big hit on the corner there. He just sealed that end up.
Nice to meet you, Jack Schaefer.
Oh, and we got a player down. Looks like maybe a cramp. And we'll step out for this moment while they take care of our player on the field. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Captains. And the rush is on, and the Lions finally get to Hilliard. You see Jack Morris, Gus Taylor, a couple others that got in on that one, Paul.
I'm sorry?
So we had a couple others in there in addition to Morris and Taylor.
Yeah,
a team effort.
Yeah, and, obviously Coach Henson gave him a little talking to at halftime there in terms of getting some pressure on that quarterback, trying to help out those DBs in coverage.
So 3rd and 13. Waterford on their own 16-yard line. If we're not running a huddle, they're doing a lot of talking out there, trying to get this play off. And Hilliard drops back to pass. The rush is on again. He ends up dumping it off on the sideline, and that pass is incomplete. That was intended for 19.
That was number 4, Caleb McCahey, coming in, standing in for the injured Jesse Powell, getting some good pressure on the quarterback there.
Well, we've got 7:16, and with the incomplete pass, his clock is stopped. It's 4 and 13, and Jack Schramm is back to punt for Waterford. We got Brendan Locke standing at the 50-yard line, getting ready to receive this ball. High snap. Schramm does a good job pulling it in. And Locke gets it right at the 50, breaks a couple of tackles, makes his way to the 55, to the 45. He almost scooted out of there.
I think he broke about 5 tackles, and if he'd have broke that last one, I think he had some room in front of him.
Oh, he had that whole right side over there he was trying to get to. But so the Lions will start out at the Waterford 45 with 7:03 to go in the third quarter. Fracassi in the backfield, throws out to Quinn Fracassi, and he runs it upfield. Gets a nice gain of almost 12 yards on that one. He had a block or two out there and broke a couple himself.
Yeah, good play, good catch by Quinn, good run after the catch. Brian, I wanted to mention one thing. As a coach, you're always preaching to your players about helping each other out and being a good teammate and doing whatever you can to help win the game. And we got Jesse Powell sitting on the sidelines tonight with a little bit of an injury. I looked down. and he's down there working feverishly, helping some of the other players with their helmets who something happened to him. I saw him, he had a screwdriver in his hand. He's trying to fix a helmet for the guys rather than standing on the sidelines and pouting because he's not out there. He's out there helping the team. I love to see that.
Yep, you always got something you can do out there to help out. And Singleton with a nice carry there. And the Lions with another first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of Waterford. Again, Quinn Fracassi in the flat catches that and runs for about another 10 yards. Well, they hadn't used Quinn much in the first half, and he was really covered well by the captains. After watching the Lakeland game, they probably figured he was the go-to guy to shut down, and now that Locke's had a big first half, and Quinn's finding himself more open right now.
And Keegan,
and they're going to him.
Yeah, Keegan, who had a big first half there, threw some nice block there to give Quinn room to run after the catch.
And here's a snap for Fracassi looking downfield to Keegan McGrath. He makes a move, and he's in for a touchdown. And you were just talking about him, Paul, how he's been getting open in the first half, and he ran a great route there.
I was just going to say, Brian, I was kind of watching him. He made a great cut. He faked to the outside, got the defender to turn a little bit, made a great cut to the inside. Connor put the ball right on the money.
And that, again, Fracassi's used about 4 receivers here tonight that you got to cover them all. And we got another flag here with Waterford jumped. So the Lions showing their offensive prowess here tonight. And Stoyanovic's kick is up and it's good. So with 5:33 to go in the third quarter, the score, Lions 36, Waterford 10. We'll be right back with the Lions kickoff. And that kick is taken at the 10-yard line by Waterford. They get a pretty good return out of that, bringing it up all the way to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was DJ Hamlin, Brian. He's dangerous. You can just tell by the way that young man runs. He gave a little bit of a trot, and he saw a gap, and you could tell by the acceleration. He's got great speed, but Lions did a good job of coverage, bringing him down.
And this defense been doing that swarm tackling for 2 years now.
Yeah.
That was a key to them last year. It's been a key to their defense this year. And again, it's next man up, as you said, with Jesse being out. And a pass downfield to number 12. And he could go. Evan DeFrank's trying to catch him, and he's not going to. Touchdown, Waterford Kettering. That was Brendan Teal with the nice catch, and Hilliard found him open, led him in stride, and that was the rest is history.
Yeah, well, Brian, after the end of the first quarter, I commented on how well the defenses were playing. Then all of a sudden, things have really opened up here for both teams. Good job by the Lions to answer after that onside kick and touchdown by the captains. Good defensive stand, and we score again, but captain's not giving up, and they showed how explosive they are on that play.
Right, so Jack Schramm on for the extra point try. Oh, and I think that was blocked by Jake Newman. Jake came in from the right side over there, left side, and got a piece of that to keep the score 16-36. It's amazing how much momentum something like that will take away from a team and give the other team.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround, right?
Yeah, you have your hands team out there.
Yeah.
And Schramm kicks off down to the 20. The Lions get it there. And they return it back about 8 yards. Almost to the 36-yard line, or 34.
So the Lions make a big adjustment there. They put 9 guys up within 5 yards of the kickoff. But good adjustment by the coaches. It seems like every kickoff from the captains is a little bit of an adventure.
Right. Well, and you got those guys to block.
Right.
You know, even if it's just pooched over their head, you keep those gunners from getting down there and getting to the ball before your guy does. So Fracassi brings them out. And Singleton in the backfield with them. Number 5, he gets the ball, goes off tackle, and gets just a couple of yards. So the Lions, now you take a look at your offense. Do you want to keep running it wide open, or you want to try to use up some clock? And I think it's too early to use up the clock. You need to keep it wide open.
Yeah, with how explosive the Kettering team is, you need to keep your foot on the gas here.
Steve Shelton in for Brendan Locke. Fracassi in the backfield. Hands off to Singleton. He's got blockers in front of him. He's off to the left side. He's got that ball covered up. He crosses the 40. Great run there. And great blocking.
Yep. Yeah, that's for sure, Brian. And you said it. He covered that ball up. Once he got in the open field, he had that ball in his right hand. He shifted it over to his left hand, keep it away from the defense, and keep it wrapped up. Great job, Jordan.
Well, they must have seen something on that left-hand side of the defense that they were either over-pursuing or what, but they took great opportunity there and got a huge first down. Huge play, bringing the ball into the Waterford territory. Quinn Fracassi in motion. Connor Fracassi keeps it, busts up the middle, and he busts it down to the 18-yard line. He almost got outside for clear sailing, but
Good run by Connor there. Good job by the offensive line getting out into that second stage and making some blocks on some of the linebackers. I noticed when they were lining up for that play, there was a lot of discussion going on between the linemen, so they were coordinating, creating their strategy for who was going to get who, and they executed well.
And again, another good fake out there to Quinn that some of the backers bid on. So the Lions first down from the 19-yard line. Fracassi looking back to pass. He's got Brent. Oh, he had Locke wide open and just overthrew him.
He had Quinn wide open too on the right side. There was nobody near him, but he was going. They thought they had a mismatch there, and Connor made that throw. But well done, throwing it where only his guy could have got it. No danger there.
Well, good job setting that play up too. They've been running first down a lot, and I'm sure they're looking for Singleton coming up the middle again or off tackle. Fracassi, 2nd and 10 from the 19. Hands off to Singleton, and he's off to the right side this time. He cuts back into the middle, and he's across the 10 to about the 9. He may have a first down there. We'll see where they mark it. And it is 1st and 10 from the 9.
I love this, Brian. I'm watching those offensive linemen in the huddle, before Connor gets out there with the play. They're talking to each other. They're telling each other what happened on that last play, what they did right, what they did wrong, and that's how you get better.
Right, it's a team sport. It doesn't do you any good to point blame. You just got to fix it and go to the next play. But they've been doing a great job down there tonight. And Fracassi calls his own number. He goes off tackle or round end, and he's met with a host of captains there. So it'll be 2nd and goal. Second and goal from the 10. Or actually, that was the first down. I'm sorry. It must have been second down, but now it's 1st and 10. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Or from the 7-yard line, I'm sorry. So Percassi fakes the handoff, rolls out to his left, cuts it back up the middle. And he gets a handful of yards there. Looked like he was going to be able to scoot through there.
Yeah.
So it's now 2nd and goal from the 5. Brendan Dancer coming in the game for Keegan McGrath.
Connor looking a little bit gimpy on that after that play. Might have been shaken up a little bit, and I don't think anything serious, but
He comes back in the gun. Singleton's behind him. Hand off to Singleton, and he is just annihilated there by number 1. That's Larry Pitts. And again, another speedster. He got through that gap untouched. So that's 3rd and 10. 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. Mitch Kamaris comes into the game. And Jack Schaefer goes in for Singleton.
I don't think they're going to get this one off, Brian.
No, they may just go to the 4th quarter. There's 4-3. And it's the quarter. So we'll be back with the Lions up 36-16. The start of the 4th quarter coming up. And the Lions will have the ball 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. Well, Paul, they put 2 seconds back on the clock. I don't know if the Lions had to call a timeout or not, but they're running from the same end of the field. And there's Brendan Locke with the touchdown. Locke had to go up for that one, but he made sure he held on to it. And he was covered pretty good there. Percassi did a good job of just putting it where only Brendan could get it.
Yep. Yeah, and like you said, Brendan went up and got it. Good aggressive route and going up. Good hands on that ball.
It seems like that play's been available most of the night with Brendan doing the slant inside on the cornerback and no safety back there. Stoyanovic's kick is up. And that is good. So the Lions now 43 and the captain 16. And we'll have the start of the 4th quarter coming up. Chinnavarra does a little pooch kick and is caught there at the 36, 37 yard line, or 34 yard line. That's number 19, Eric Kraft. A nice diving catch. It was a nice one to fumble, but he did a good job of hanging on to it. So the captain starting out the 4th quarter here. With the Lions up 43, captain 16. Pitts goes in motion. Hilliard's being chased. He rolls out to the left and throws a strike about 11 yards downfield. And the host of Lions make the tackle there, but not before the catch and the first down.
Yeah, that was number 1, Larry Platt for the captains. He was in motion, ran a wheel route, cut it off short. Quarterback hit him along the sidelines.
And Hilliard was kind of running for his life. It may have been a design rollout, but and Hilliard looking downfield again. Down deep is number 12. That was Brendan Teal again. And Brendan Teal just torched the Lions again for a deep touchdown.
Yeah, he got deep behind the safeties there, Brian. The only guy defending him was the back judge.
So that only took about 27 seconds for the captains to score. And Jack Schramm, that one was nearly blocked again by Jake Newman. But that kick is good, and it makes it 23, Lions 43. The Lions got to find an answer for those deep post routes.
Yeah, I mean, like we're saying, these guys are explosive. That score only took 27 seconds. I mean, at this point of the game, and you asked about it earlier, Brian, do you start running the ball, try to get some time off the clock? Problem is, when they only need 27 seconds to score, you got to keep putting points on the board.
You don't want them to have the ball. Coach Henson's getting a little animated with the squad down there, and rightfully so. Our defense needs to start talking, learn from the offensive linemen, and maybe they are, but they really need to make sure that no one's getting behind them. So if you got to line up deeper, take those read steps, and not just go through the motions. That's another position that we graduated last year. One of the safeties was Michael Dancer.
Yeah.
The Lions up close again, looking for the onside, and they kick it away. And they luck out, the Lions do, as the ball goes out of bounds right in front of the flag out there. Brendan Locke was the only one deep. They kicked it away from him, and it rolled out of bounds. Or maybe corner. All right, here we go with the Lions. Hand off to Shingleton. And he gets 4 yards on the carry there. So after the start of the game where we went a quarter and a half with no scoring, now we've had 66 points put up since that time. Yeah. So the Lions with two split out to the right. Brendan Locke up top. Hand off to Singleton again, and he breaks it off tackle. He goes across the 50. We got a flag on the play. We got a first down. However, we'll see what they call. And it's against the captains.
It's their second sideline warning. So that'll result in a penalty. What is that penalty, guys? Is that 5 yards?
Yes. Yep. Well, they need a get-back coach. Coach walks up and on the sideline saying, "Get back." That was my job as a freshman coach. There goes Fracassi. Takes the snap, hand off to Singleton again. He zigzags around the first couple of guys that got through. He makes them miss and picks up about 4 yards. Singleton doing a good job of getting through that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he wears that number 5. He looks a little bit like Ian Goins on that run in terms of his speed and his shiftiness. Ian Goins graduated last year, out playing for Albion now.
Yep. Somebody probably told him, if you're going to wear that 5, you better start being a little more productive. And he has been very productive this game. Fracassi with Singleton again, they hand off, inside handoff, and he is just chewing up yardage on this Waterford team. The linemen are opening up holes. I always love it when you see a lineman downfield with the running back.
Yeah, and in the backfield, too, number 50, Ashton D'Angelo, plays 10 yards by him. That kid is still blocking his assignment. I love it.
Well, you never know who's going to make the tackle, and you don't want it to be your guy.
That's right.
So the Lions, 1st and 10 from the captain's 25-yard line. Oop, and we got a stoppage in play. We had a timeout called. Delay a game on the Lions. You hate to see that. So that puts it 1st and 15 from the 30-yard line. Brendan Dancer in motion. Hand off to Singleton again. And he gets all of the penalty back and a little bit more. About a 6-yard carry there. And Dancer doing a good job up there blocking for him as he was the man in motion.
Yeah, you're talking about the linemen downfield. That's my man Jacob Klingler down there, mixing it up with the linebackers and the DBs.
We have Alex Chuk just came into the ball game, bringing in the plays, number 20. He split out to the left. You got Brendan Locke split down to the right. Chuk in motion, and Fracassi keeps the ball and runs it up the middle for just a couple of yards.
Well, Brian, we were talking about it, and Lions doing a good job moving the ball on the ground here, not only gaining yardage, but chewing up some time on this drive.
Yes, they are. So we've got a 3rd and 7 situation from the 23-yard line here in the 4th quarter. Locke split out wide to the right. Singleton in the backfield. He gets the ball. He jogs out to the left and gets a couple of yards on that one. It's going to make it about 4th and 5. And there's a timeout on the field called by Kettering. We'll be right back after this stoppage in play. Oh, and here we go. The pass to Tegan McGrath. He catches it in the end zone. Another 4th down touchdown.
Hold on, Brian. We got a whistle out there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we got a flag. Our football aficionado and cameraman Matt Boyer is calling holding. Looks like that is coming back. So the Lions put 6 more on and 6 coming off with the holding penalty. You got Mitch Kamaris coming into the game. Bringing into play. Coming out, Darian Manarich. So again, it's 4th and 10 from the 25. Fracassi thrown out to Quinn Fracassi, and that falls incomplete. So it'll be a turnover on downs. Waterford will take over on their own 25-yard line. We've got 6:57 left in the game here. Eli Hilliard in the backfield. Pitts goes in motion on a wheel route, and he's looking his way all the way. Up, and we've got an incomplete pass. It looked like it could have been a fumble.
I don't know, Brian. I think that might have been Gus Taylor in there. I think he knocked that one down.
It certainly looked like it to me, but apparently his arm might have been going in motion. They thought that was Tom Brady at quarterback. Again, Waterford lines up, no huddle. Hilliard drops back, and he's got the rushes on, and he throws it incomplete. Well, he was running for his life there.
Good pursuit by a number of Lions back there, forcing a bad throw. Hey, Brian, while we got a quick minute here, just wanted to thank everybody who was able to come out last weekend to the Lions' 5th annual Victory Day. Another really successful event, and congratulations to you. Great job announcing.
Oh. Well, thank you, and that was a fun day. Thank you for spotting and helping out. We had an absolute riot with and great weather. So Hilliard taking the pass. He's a single back, and the pass is completed. To real tough coverage out there, but you can see if that was Pitts or 19. You got a number on that catch?
Yeah, I didn't get a number on the catch, but that was Jake Newman all over him. I don't know how you get better pass coverage than that.
No, you can't. So that'll be first down from the 41-yard line. And Hilliard rolling out again. He looks downfield. He's got number 11 wide open. Stephen Shelton's trying to track him down. It's a race to the corner, and he makes a catch. Not before number 11 dives into the end zone. That's Lamar George. It looked like the Lions were trying to seal off that deep middle, but they couldn't get the flanks covered to run them down. And again, athlete with a lot of speed. We heard this team had a lot of speed. So Jack Schramm on for the extra point. And that kick is good. That makes it Waterford 30. The Lions still up 43-30. And the Lions with their hands team up here to receive this kick. And they kick it down deep again. Brendan Locke receives it at the 2-yard line, and he takes off around end. He breaks a couple of tackles, gets up to about the 20, 15-yard line, we'll call it, before he's knocked out of bounds. So here we go. 6:10 to go in the game. Lions up 43-30. And the ball carrier, I can't pick up who that was.
Jack Schaefer.
Yep. And Jack Schaefer runs that out for a 9-yard gain, it looks like.
Great blocking downfield again. Good job by Keegan McGrath. That kid's just having a hell of a game out there tonight. He was downfield blocking to the end.
Well, you need all 11 players blocking. So here comes Fracassi in the gun. Got Schaefer next to him. Hand off to Schaefer again. He goes out around end, and he's brought down right about the line of scrimmage. So it's a
late flag there, Brian. Thrown from the far side, Judge.
Let's see what it is.
Maybe I missed it. I don't think it was a flag. I think he was just raising his hand.
Yeah.
Looked like he threw something.
So the Lions now 3rd and 2 for a first down. Schaefer in the backfield. Hand off to Schaefer. He goes around end. He breaks it up for about 6 yards and the first down and stays in bounds.
Mitch Komoris, great block on the end there to spring Jack.
Well, they're kind of taking what they're giving them. Captain's done a good job of sealing up that middle, and the Lions are going outside on them. Because you got to cover the receivers. So they're taking guys downfield, making that end available. Fracassi and Schaefer again in the backfield. Mitch Komoris, the up front guy. And he sets a block to set the end. Schaefer gets a couple of yards. Looks like a couple of guys got in there late, but not too late. Three-yard gain by Schaefer. Lions methodically moving down the field here. You got Schaefer and Fracassi in the backfield. Quinn Fracassi in motion. He takes the ball, he runs up. He gets about 6 yards on that play.
That's going to be real close to a first down.
Well, the home field chain gang was starting to move.
They were. Chain gang was already. Oh, and they are going to get.
And they're moving.
Okay. See, they knew what they were doing.
Remember the old chain gang during my son's years was usually the same two dads.
Yeah.
They were good for a first down every game.
There you go.
The Lions first down from their own 39-yard line, taking advantage of the play clock. Fracassi gives it to Schaefer, who zigzags around the end. He's still fighting, and he gains about 3 yards on that carry.
And you think he's down at the line of scrimmage, Brian. All of a sudden, the whole pile's moving, and Jack's just carrying them all for another 2 yards.
He is. And for another 3 seconds. So now it's 2nd and 6 for the Lions. Just under 2 minutes to play now. Fracassi taking his time. Hands off to Schaefer, who goes across the side. He gets over the 50, gets down to the 40. Nice gain there by Jack, about a 16-yard carry. And more importantly, a first down and into Waterford territory. Chains are, and the clock is running as the ball is set. That's a new rule this year, the way they run the play clock. Once the ball's set, they go. So, a minute 15. Fracassi puts Komoris in motion. He takes the snap, gives it to Schaefer, who goes off the round end, and he gains up another 6 yards there. And stays in bounds, and it looks like we got a timeout by Waterford. We'll be right back after this stoppage in play. So the Lions are going to need to run 1 or 2 more plays. A first down by, there's Mitch Komoris. You talk about not being brought down. Look at him go. He's taking the whole Waterford team with him down to the 5-yard line.
I told you earlier, Brian, every time Mitch carries the ball, the whole time he's saying, "Give me the ball, coach, give me the ball."
Well, I hate to see what his per-yard average is, but that just sealed it right there. They're not going to need to run another play. So they're going to take their time coming out of the huddle. Yep, they'll snap the ball one more time. They go into victory position. Percassi takes a knee. There's 24 seconds left on the clock. And that should be the ball game, and it is. So as the clock runs out, the Lions hang on. I say hang on to win 43-30 because Waterford was scoring every time they had the ball in the fourth quarter. But that's another victory for the Lions, and we'll be right back with our wrap-up after this.
All right, well, once again, your final score here tonight, the South Lyon Lions 43, Waterford Kettering Captains 30, and a wild game there. We go scoreless for one stanza, and then just throwing down the offensive gauntlet all the way around.
Right, well, that's what we said. We had a quarter and a half without a score. I don't think either team got more than 10 yards past the midfield mark, and then they throw 66 on the board in the next quarter and a half.
Yeah.
And then at the end there, it was like a track meet.
Yes.
I'll tell you, this team's 1-3, but they're the best 1-3 team you're going to ever play against. They have a lot of speed on that team, and they showed it tonight. That number 12 just blitzed our secondary, and they scared me because they had a 13-point deficit with 6 minutes to left. And we had an 11-point deficit with 6 minutes left last week.
Right.
So, the comeback was in their mind, I am sure. But they played a great game. They played their hearts out. They pulled out all the stops with the onside kicks.
Right.
And, they didn't leave anything on the field.
No.
So I give Waterford Kettering a lot of credit. And, on the way out through the league play here, they're going to do pretty well.
I would agree with you. And, I know we're at opposite ends of the press box here, but I bet you guys were saying the same 4 or 5 or 6 names that we kept saying. And it became quite obvious that several of these individuals needed to be accounted for because if they got into open space, you weren't catching them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's for sure. A quality win for the Lions
I
there,
agree.
though, right? We look back at last week, and it was a lot of sloppy play. They were able to pull it out as the Cardiac Kids. This is just a hard-fought game. We were wondering before the game, we're going to find our offense, and we're going to find it early. And they sure did. They did a great job moving the ball around. Everybody was involved tonight. Everybody in the backfield, all the receivers, the linemen were all over the place. That was very impressive. On the defensive side of the ball, a few issues in terms of giving up some quick touchdowns. But again, they had great athletes on that team.
Right.
So well-played game, fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. And like I said, you got a little bit of everything with the slow start. First quarter flew right by, no score. And then the big plays, onside kicks, some hard-hitting football. What can you say about Jack Schaefer, that touchdown run earlier down the near sideline?
Yes.
That was we were dropping beast mode lines down there. That was the stiff arm and then just still outrunning everyone to the end zone. That's there were a couple really great plays here tonight, and I'm sure it was tough to try and narrow it down for our players of the game. But before we look ahead to next week, who are we thinking for players of the game tonight?
Well, on the offensive side, we're looking at Keegan McGrath.
Yeah.
He had a kind of a tough first half. He was open a lot.
Yeah.
And Connor had a little trouble dialing that in. He was stretched out doing his best trying to go up for those balls, and then they finally did get it dialed in. He got a couple of touchdowns. He got a couple of big key first downs.
Yes.
And the last touchdown he scored, actually, he zigged and zagged it a little bit, and it was a great highlight film there.
Yeah. I felt so bad for him. He made a great catch down here in the end zone over the shoulder, and then, we look back, and of course the flag, canceled that out. So, but no, nice game for Keegan, and I definitely, that was one of the guys I was thinking would definitely be in the running tonight, so I'm glad to hear that. And then, so who are we thinking for defensive?
We got number 70, Gus Taylor. Gus Taylor playing the line. We were We were a little bit light tonight with Jesse out being
Right.
hurt, but a lot of people stepped up.
Yes, they did.
He on the end
Yes.
stepped up, made some great plays. But Gus was mixing things up in the backfield, forcing some throws, not allowing that run up the middle, making some big tackles. So we're going to give Gus Taylor defense. And we're also going to do a tough guy on top of
I
that.
like it.
And we're going to give it to the offensive line tonight.
Yes.
They did a great job. And, I mean, there was you felt like there was a lot of turning points in the game. It was
Right.
like, oh, that was the turning point in the game. Like what they came out at halftime and they get that onside kick and you go,
Right.
uh-oh, here's all the momentum going their way. Well, we come back and we answer right away. And then you get down to the end of the game, you know they're going to score every 30 seconds. Right? So, Brian and I were saying we need to keep the ball on the ground.
Yes.
We need to run some. And we had two really nice long drives that ate up the clock, that last one at the end of the game. And a lot of that has to go to the offensive line and the blocking they've made. And you know what? I don't like to say anything during the game, but kudos to Adam Walrath. Great snapping tonight. Not a single bad snap.
Yeah. No, that's a great job by all involved in that. And yeah, Gus had a great game. The offensive line had a great game. Singleton did a great job carrying the load there down the end too. He had we had got down there, took a big chunk of clock out, and really kind of just broke the effort of Kettering there. And they only had 2 timeouts, and the boys were able to finish it. So we're actually at home for the next 2 weeks. I did not look and see who we have next week. I know we have Mott in 2 weeks.
Red Out is next week,
Oh.
and Homecoming is in 2 weeks.
Excellent. So we have the Red Out next week and Homecoming in 2 weeks. So if you haven't been out yet to get out to the jungle, the weather was still nice tonight. It was hot.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yep.
yeah. And that was another kudos to the kids. We saw some cramping out there, but not like you normally see earlier in the season. And that's right. Walled Lake Northern comes to town next week, and then Waterford Mott the week after that. So if you haven't been out, come on out to the jungle and check out the boys. They are off to a great 4-0 start, and big things.
Yep. And again, it was great to see the offense kind of dominate. Once they started finding the end zone, putting 43 points up against this team was pretty good numbers there, and seeing a bunch of our guys scoring.
Yeah.
It was great.
No, it was a lot of fun. It was a great football game. And like I said, the Lions improved to 4-0 now. They'll be at home for the next 2 weeks and can really start working their way towards the playoffs. So for Paul Zarati, Brian McPhee, I'm Dan Pelchat, Matt Boyer on camera. We thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you next week as Walled Lake Northern comes to town. Remember, folks, it's a great day to be living in America. We'll see you next time.